Expressions, and I am here today to share some really exciting news with you. So we are welcoming a new product to the TE store. Are you ready? Ta-da! It's coordinating ink to match our cardstock. It's been a long process to bring you the best formulation in the best colors, and I'm just so excited to finally share it with all of you and to be able to use it myself in all of my own projects. So let me start by showing you the 3 different ways that our ink will be offered. First, we have the full-size ink pad. You can see here when I open up, this is a high-quality felt pad, and the pad is actually raised inside the case so you can easily ink stamps of any size, and you can easily add ink over large surfaces like the inside of an embossing folder. And the full-size pad on the inside here measures 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So we'll also be offering a mini cube. These measure 1 by 1, and again the pad is raised on the inside. The packaging is designed so your lid doesn't easily pop off. You can see that there's kind of a sticker here on the outside. And then on the outside is also the color names. So if you want to stack them this direction, you can do that, or if you want to view them all from the top, you can see the color names on the top as well. Now, as an added bonus, for those of you familiar with the Tim Holtz Distress inks, this is the Distress ink tin, and our inks actually fit perfectly inside of there, and we'll be releasing 12 colors, so you can grab a tin to store your mini ink pads in as well. Now, one thing I did want to show you with the mini ink pads is kind of a clever way that you can open them. As I mentioned, they do have a sticker on the side. Now, when you get them, I would say this is what I do. Now, you can take it or leave it and come up with your own method if you'd like, but I just take an X-Acto knife here and kind of pry open the case just a little bit, pull it apart with my fingers until I can fit that X-Acto knife kind of in that crease. And then I just run it right along the crease of the opening there. And that will pop open one side of your ink pad. Now you can choose to leave it just like that, or you can cut it on both sides so that your whole top will pop off. Completely up to you, but that's how I like to do mine, just so that I don't end up with the sticky goo kind of left behind when you peel that sticker up. Now last, I am pretty sure that you're going to love this ink so much that you're going to need a refill at some point. So we also have the ink refills for all 12 of the colors, so you can pick those up when you need them. So now that you've seen how the products are going to be offered, let me just tell you about the actual ink. So our launch includes 12 colors, and they will match the 12 colors of cardstock that you see here. So this is our 100-pound premium cardstock. We actually have 29 colors, so we're going to continue to release additional colors of ink on a monthly basis until we have ink to match all of our cardstock. So for this first round, I picked my favorite bright, bold colors. You guys know how much I love my brights, so that's what we went with for this first ink launch. And it's a great, just a great combo to have that all work together. So not only did we have to decide on the color, but we also had to decide on an ink formulation. And there are really so many important considerations, so I worked long and hard to bring you what I feel is the absolute best. And as a stamper myself, I will say I've tried quite a few inks. And there were a few factors that were most important to me in formulating this ink. And those were superior coverage, bright, vibrant hues, and of course, how well it matches our cardstock. Now, because there are good parts about lots of different formulations, we actually ended up with 2 different formulations. Here we have the Cookie Monster, and you'll see it says Premium Dye Ink Pad. And then we have our Oreo, which says Premium Hybrid Ink Pad. So we went with a dye formulation and a hybrid. The dye formulation is offered in 10 colors, so everything except black and brown will come in the dye formulation. So this is fast drying, it's fade resistant, it will give you a bold and beautiful coverage that I find to be really superior in all of the inks that I've tried. Now, because I also enjoy coloring with alcohol markers and watercoloring, I decided to go with a hybrid ink formulation for the Oreo and then the brown, which is called Chocolate Truffle. So primarily when you're doing watercoloring or any kind of outline stamping, you're going to choose to do that in a black or a brown ink. So that's why I went with these that are also waterproof and compatible with alcohol-based markers. Now I know that a lot of times it works better to show you than to just tell you. So I want to show you a few of these features in action. Let me just clear away some of this stuff here. And I'm going to grab a piece of our sugar cube cardstock. Now this is a really ultra smooth cardstock. It also happens to be my favorite for Copic coloring, and it accepts ink really, really well. So you can see here that I have previously stamped one of our images in Cookie Monster ink, and I'm going to show you again stamping that in the Cookie Monster. So I use a technique that I just call twist and tap. So I twist my stamp on there a couple times and then I just tap it to give it a nice even coverage all the way around the stamp. And then you can just stamp that down, giving it nice even pressure, and pull it up. Now the reason why I stamped one previously is because I wanted you guys to see the difference. When you first stamp our images, they might look a little bit mottled, but you can see that as it dries, that ink really seeps into the paper and fills in all of those creases and gives you just such nice, perfect coverage. And it also fades to match our cardstock. So I'm going to pull in a piece of our Cookie Monster cardstock. You can see the one that I just stamped is still in the process of kind of absorbing that ink into the paper, but the one that's been dry for a few minutes, it matches just perfectly. So just something to keep in mind with our inks, they do fade to dry and match perfectly and give you that really nice, even, superior coverage that you see there on the left. So I also wanted to show you, we have something available in our store. This is a free color chart that you can download from our website. It has 3 boxes for each of the colors that we'll be offering. On the left side, I stamped each of the inks. And then in the middle, I punched out a little piece of cardstock for that coordinating color. And then on the right side, we have the Copic matches for each of our colors. So for those of you that are Copic collectors, you can match those up with our ink colors. So our color chart download and all of our inks are now available at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. And we've got some great specials going on this week and some fun giveaways on the blog. So make sure you tune in to see lots of inspiration and get your name entered to win a really cool prize. So thanks for stopping by today. I hope you'll try out our ink.